What's going on, pirates? And today we are here to talk about one of my actual favorite decks, and that is going to be Green Zoro. With the new starter deck stuff coming out to Sim, I'm very excited to play it. This is the list we've settled on. Everybody's saying it's a Mihawk starter deck, but I'm going to be real, this Mihawk in Zoro actually plays a lot better than I thought. And it can filter stuff for you, and it being a 6 cost, you get to play it on such an early curve that your later games you really just get to try to do the restands and the bigger swings that you want to. I will say with this though, it feels a lot more important to hit your searches, because ideally 5 you want to have one Tashigi, 7 you want to have a Mihawk and another Tashigi, and that leads you into resting 8k, establishing a 7, and then it leads you to playing this, playing another Tashigi, resting 8k, and then you establish a really solid board. The events are pretty standard. I just feel like you need a little bit more counter, especially because on 10 you're not really looking to play anything. Your board should be established. If it's another Mihawk into anything, then that's good, but that still leaves you with 4 down left over, so you can still 3 for leader and then have 1 up for counter in your next turn. Otherwise, just a good event to stun. Luna speaks for itself. Restand's most important card in the deck. The rest of the deck is what we're trying to figure out. Zoro, the Zoro being a 2k, and then playing against certain matchups as far as Goofy and Enel is really good. The Rayleigh's really good into those matchups as well. We're only on 2 of though, just right now running into a lot of Kid and whatnot, and it does lose some value there. Not a brick by any means, it's a 1k. That's the only reason we're on 2 of these and still 3 Kinemons. Just the Kinemons, if you're forced to play these off the Mihawk, you at least get to establish 3 as active, so that way you can still swing your leader, so you're not missing out there, which feels good. Other than that, the rest of the deck's pretty similar to what it was before. Debating with all the blue if we want to try to fit a Laboon in here just to stick it, so that way nothing can get grav-bladed and whatnot, but so far we're not having any issues with that. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, so let's get into the games. Next game is going to be against starter deck Luffy. Kind of rock with the second curve just in case this is, because like I said, your searchers are so important early now that if you have 1, it's almost scary to mulligan. So you take second just in case Hiyori's what you get. And then you have the Tashigi in the open end and this for late. You almost have to stay this because now you're really just hoping that this grabs you a Mihawk. It does not. Since we already have the Mihawks in hand and the Zoro for the next one, instead of grabbing the 2k, we are just grabbing another restand. So we're all set on these for the game, which is nice. Knew the 2-0 was coming. Play this for the other reason 4 is good. You play this, restand 3, you still get to go 8k and kill this. I am gonna eat the first one just because we're looking for the Mihawk, and we see another Tashigi, so we are in a very good spot. It's gonna be this into Zoro, into Don. Just no reason not to get rid of Nami. This is really good against decks that like to play weenies too, because your Zoro pretty much gets free kills. 6, it's just Mihawk and Tashigi, and then your 8 can just be Tashigi into restand. Because we want to rest this blocker. You're gonna swing 6. I'm giving you a 2k regardless. So we'll just 2k the first one. Yeah, like I said, you're gonna swing anyways. Alright, so now we're looking on our 6, which is perfect. Mihawk plays this. And normally I'd swing face here, but getting rid of all of these is actually super important. I probably should have just swung 4 at 3 just to see, but next turn I kind of want to go wide. Restand's never bad. 3 is more than I am used to having in my hand, that's for sure, this early. But we still have Tashigi for next play. We're kind of in a really good spot. The only thing I guess I would say is we just are lacking in the counter big time for the rush I know that this can put out. So you can 4-drop into Sanji and to give Don to everything. Him getting the stage late was really good for me. So Toshigi, we're just going to rush Jinbei again. He's not saving. I mean, you gotta give this to leader. And then what do you give to just to the Sanji and swing 5? I'll give you 1. We'll take the 6. Get the 2K, get the 2K. Alright. So we're really liking what we're seeing. So here is question of the day. Do I just swing 5 at 3, which I think I'm going to, and then swing 7, 7, 8? Sounds like a thing of beauty for me. I can pitch a restand because I think 2 is enough to go for a game just to keep the counter in my hand. Because you know that they play a good amount. He's got a million cards in hand. So I think I do have to think long term, even if I'd like to think that next turn is just 3, 3, 3. That shows that he either goofed or he does not have a lot of counter. We want to keep the counter though, because we do just have 2 health, and this can do big spurts out of nowhere, so it's a little scary. This is the card that is so sick. 9K rush. You can have that. The only thing I really think I want to save here is Toshigi if he goes at it. Give you the 6. I mean, you have to use this. 5 at life, I'll give you 1. Now with no blockers up, do these have to be events and he doesn't give this? Or no, it's just search it, so you grab a 2K. I keep forgetting that it says has hatched because I am always looking for to change those to the One Piece ones, but thank you so much for the follow. Kebieg, I hope I said that right. I'm on a closeout turn and I appreciate it. So I think it's just go 5, give me card, go 7, give me card. Then I'm swinging a bunch of 9s. Just in case any nonsense happen in hand. I just wanted to swing with all them first. And leave all my Don up active and whatnot. Yep. GG's. So I will say, I do think that the Zoro starter deck helps Zoro. This Mihawk is insane. Getting to play it on 6 and playing out of Toshigi with is insane. Your searchers, very, very, very important. This is a piece deck. You need to see your restands. You need to see those. You want to close the game out. Stuff that spits out little stuff and tries to rush it with your Zoros free as long as you can keep resting with Toshigis. Blockers aren't as scary because you just get to reswing with Zoro. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we are in 2 kids, so we're going to steal second. We do have the searcher, at least 1. You'd like to have a couple more pieces, but we will keep this. Just going second, we can hopefully grab. I just like all of the Art and Kids stuff too. That's another deck that's going to be real fun. Of course, like I'm just not a fan of yellow stuff, but it's at least pretty cool in its own right. Do you see the Mihawk? So we really need to draw into a Toshigi soon. 4, you get to play Mihawk though into Kinemon, which would be nice. Or establish something else otherwise, but It's the best I think we're gonna get. The deck still plays very, very similar. It's just now I'm not running any of the 7 costs. You just don't really want to discard any cards in this game. I was running it with Boa, just freezing for a turn, slowing the game down for a turn was actually kind of nice. And then unblockable, and then on your 10 down turn, you know, you can go 8, 8, 8, 9 unblockable. And that's still debating in a 1-of, but it's just the way that the Mihawk's been playing. It's been so nice. Just because this game can get so wide and they can fucking burn you, I am going to give the 1k here. He was pretty useful, but it's just, Kid can get out of hand fast. So we are here. Get the Kinemon out. Restand 3, which is nice. So it's almost like you can do the swing into the Luffy, but there's no need. We'll actually get a search off. Grab a restand, which would be nice. Still haven't seen Tashigi, so hopefully we can draw into it. Or take a life. What's cool is if he blocks us, we don't care. Just pretty much take that life he healed. That's the other thing with yellow is like their hands are always just so healthy off all the healing. Kid just does an absurd amount too with the new killer and all their stuff. Triggers, also the killer triggers off 3. So you really sometimes don't want to give the lives early as far as that is. Because a lot of theirs are like the super basic trigger, like this one triggers off 3, killer triggers off 3. So you really kind of got to fight early sometimes. This is where, like I said, like you almost need the Tashigi, and it really hurts when you're not seeing it. We have to play this, and it's going to play out the Zoro, which will at least rush this down, which doesn't do too much for you. I could just select 0 just to keep it in hand. This isn't the hand you want to see. I should have played nothing, and I should have just swung. We're not out of it yet, though. 2 searches and not seeing a Tashigi, though, is kind of... the whole deck revolves around it. Luna's really good in this matchup. We're going to have a good amount of swings. We just need to stay above 3 this turn. If it's another 7, I do have to counter out of it, unfortunately. If he goes 6 with Luffy, I'll be a little surprised. And the fact that this has no cap too, so it's literally no need for Zoro, don't have to discard, you're literally just playing it. Free trash. Didn't turn it into a blocker though, is the only thing good for me. I mean, but now we at least get to swing some good numbers. We are gonna start with Zoro. We know he's going to get the triggers on hand, but like I said, we kind of really wanted to make sure that we stayed above 3 life, just because we knew that was one of them. Cool, so we finally TSC it to Shigi a little late, but I'd say better late than never, but we will have to see. We did pitch out one Luna just because we had two, and he hasn't really established anything crazy, so as long as we have one, we should be fine. Next stand might, depending on what he does, it might be a restand turn. Just to pluck his hand. That's cool thing with these is like you're establishing so many bodies too. If he does decide to kill this, we can rest a Don as well. I think we have to take both of these. It just sucks if it's another killer. If it's a 7, we for sure take. If it's 7 into 5, that is completely okay. Then we'll rest when you're down. That's actually big for us. He gets to make a blocker this turn, but that is fine because we'll just rest whatever with Tashigi. I don't know if he didn't realize this could rest Don. But like I said, we should be able to pluck a good amount of cards out of his hand. He did get the killer, so he just plays killer and heals. Can turn killer into a blocker. Six at 4 you can take. I'm assuming it'd be killer. I don't see why it wouldn't be. We are at 10 next turn though, so Tashigi putting 3 here. We have a lot of Don to work with. Still above the threshold where this will not get it. I think we're going to start with a 7. I kind of need him to be able to swing so I can Luna it. Because I'm not really in danger of dying yet, even if it's the 8 drop. Leaving these up just in case we do want to use one restand this turn. So this will draw us one. We will just discard it. Because I like my hand. Do it again. It's a good way to filter out bricks though, like if this wasn't a good. I am going to restand just to make him give me some cards. Because he's going to heal 1 off killer next turn, so we need to be able to figure out a way to swing through all of that. Could be killer Borsalino. Luckily this restands itself though, so we'll have a decent amount of swings. 7 will be at least annoying for him to get over, depending on what he's doing. We'll take that first one. 2K is huge. So he can't afford to drop the 8 cost kid here, because then he's got to go for game. We played around the triggers really well, keeping all those lives early, I would say. You'd love to see one more Tashigi. I think one more Tashigi really solidifies it. Because if he does happen to have a Borsalino, it's heal 1 and double blocker. This is super questionable. Seven at 7's fine. He's leaving with a good amount of bodies on board. You're gonna have this and make this a blocker, which is fine. The Veggie's kind of crazy. So I guess this is the turn where I actually really have to think about it. So 2 of these, Zoro's probably going to have to be a 7. So let's just say these 5 are taken. These 8 are taken. Is it Zoro just a 10 this turn? See what he decides to do there. That's the craziest trigger he could have had, but so you know he's 7. We're gonna have to go 10. Then just gonna try to pluck cards. Still has 2 blockers, unfortunately. Keep the 2K. I'm gonna restand and kill this. I don't think he plays a lot of bricks. That's fine. We're Zoroing active. Killing killer. And then we'll get 2 2Ks. So we did a good job getting cards out of his hand. Ooh! He just too many bricks. Alright. GG's. Zoro can grind it out with yellow. Yeah, I think we played that perfectly. With killer, you really kind of have to prioritize your early lives just to avoid a significant amount of these triggers. These being bricks, and these being bricks, though, when you get down to it. Nice.